really close competition. And on behalf of myself, Cliff Gable, and my co-host here, Bruce Hopkins, we'd like to welcome you back to week 5, and hope you've been enjoying this. We like to thank our sponsor, Subway, and also the Red Knight Enterprises, Brunswick Lanes for hosting this, Cable 5 for bringing it to you. Bruce, it's been some awesome bowling, and it looks like it's going to continue.
Yeah, we've had some good bowling. We've got high marks of 171 single and a 283 last week by Terry Spinney. The 171, by the way, was with Brian Dion. And in between those, we've had a lot of good bowling. There's been a 271, a couple of 272 doubles, and a couple of 140-odd games. And it's been really good bowling and exciting. Most of them have come right down to the wire to decide one place or another. And it's been really good.
We've had some new bowlers coming in this year that haven't bowled in the previous year. It's nice that this is becoming an annual thing. This is our second year now that we've done it, and hopefully we can make this a tradition here at the Brunswick Lanes.
I hope so. Well, if I stay young enough, huh?
Yeah, right. We're enjoying it, and we hope you are too. So stay with us. We're ready to get this underway, and we're going to come up with our first bowler. And our first bowler this week is Kendrick DENTREMONT. He's from Middle West Pubnico. He's age 24. He's a hardware clerk at the co-op store. He's been bowling for 4 years. He bowls 2 leagues in Pubnico and a spare in the Yarmouth League here. He currently has an average of 110.
Nice shot. Nice spare.
I had to stop and watch that. I wanted to make sure that how he played that. That was a nice play.
Had a good wood over there for that.
His all-time high single is 154. His all-time high triple is 419.
And on the spare is 6. And a good shot at another one. He's one of these bowlers that bowls left to right. He's over on the left-hand side of the alley, by the way. Played that on the outside, but was still able to get it. So Kendrick DENTREMONT shows us how they do it in Pubnico.
Starts off with a couple marks and one more, and that'll put him on the bonus list. So.
Already. This is Shawn Wells. He's another one of the bowlers that I haven't seen too much of, so I don't know. Can't say anything about him right now because I've never seen him bowl, really.
We've got new people here that, I mean, we haven't even really seen around the lanes that much, so it's nice to see this. Shawn's from Kelly's Cove. He's 31 years old. He's a correctional officer here in Yarmouth. He's been bowling for 16 years. He bowls in the Sunday mix, Monday and Friday leagues. He currently has an average of 119. His all-time high single is 179. His high triple is 407. Shawn qualified for this tournament with a triple of 383.
I've seen his scores as I do them from week to week, and he's had some good scores and has a good average if you should read. But I don't get over on the nights that he bowls, and so we'll have to watch him.
Certainly will. Kendrick, by the way, qualified for this tournament with a triple of 369. Our next bowler, Willard Ogden.
Another hard thrower.
Certainly is. Willard has to be one of the biggest boys that we have here bowling in this tournament. I was talking to him earlier today. He says he weighs in around 307 pounds.
What a steal, that.
And he's got them pins working for him today. Willard's a local boy, lives here in Yarmouth. He's 33 years old. He's a student at the present time. He's been bowling for 5 years. He bowls in the Monday night league at Gateway and the Friday night league here at the Brunswick Lanes.
Got his spare with 6 on it. Right in there again on the split. That's one of the problems of that kind of a shot on the split. The front pin goes between those two. Sometimes on the outside, you got a better chance of the head pin flying off the wall and taking 1 or 2 other pins with it. Willard's got 24. Excuse me, Cliff.
Quite all right. He currently has an average of 106.1. His all-time single is 164, and triple is 389.
Our fans might recognize this fellow on the screen right now as the guy that took the trophy home last year.
Roger SAULNIER. Roger is from Lower Wedgeport. He's 31 years old. He's a fish handler. He's been bowling for 11 years. He bowls currently in 3 leagues here at Brunswick Lanes.
Bear.
And that shot will show you why Roger was our champion from last year. He bowled awesome last year, and he's starting off real good this year with a spare.
Yeah, he had a tough spare. He had a group of 5 pins over on the right and the one over on the left, and had that ball right in there where he wanted it.
Oh,
but unfortunately, he only gets 2 on it.
Roger currently has an average of 114. He has an all-time high single of 168 and an all-time triple of 430. Roger qualified for this tournament with a triple score of 328.
And actually, I think he was the 24th man.
Yeah,
as it turned out.
Willard actually qualified with the 328 as well. So.
Oh, okay.
So as you can see, they've all come in with real good scores, right in around their average mark.
We're having another look at Kendrick. Chops out 1 on that second spare of his, so he's 27 after 2.
Kendrick starts his approach almost from the position a left-hander would.
Yeah.
And
yeah, he's way over on the left, and his ball works left to right.
Yeah, and he's kind of a sidearm almost, you would call it, I guess. But with the average he has and the marks that he's had, it's working for him, and you don't change something that's working well.
Well, it's like bowlers who spot bowl. That means looks down at the alley as they release the ball, or pin bowl. They're looking at the pins when they bowl. Whichever way suits you and you're comfortable with and you're bowling well, then why change?
They say if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Now he's got a number 5 pin standing there with a piece of wood that's out front a little bit. He might be able to, well, his ball works the wrong way. I don't know if he can buy it or not, but whoa, yeah. On the nose, off the wall, 5 pin, gone, spare. And I think he'll take it.
Looks good on the scorecard, Bruce.
Yeah, it just says spare up there. Doesn't say how he got it.
That's right.
Shawn Wells. Right in there for a strike.
Have a real good crowd here today for our 5th week, and really appreciative of the good bowling that we're seeing. You hear them clapping and cheering them on and talking to them. It's nice to see that.
Here's a shot we talked about way back in week 1. You can punch those 2 out when the 10 pins are there, but try to punch those 2 pins out when you're going for a spare. Although he's got a piece of wood there that might, well,
it just turned a little bit on him.
Didn't help him now, but if it stayed back a little, it could have helped him. Nice shot. Nice shot. Way out on the outside of that.
Used that deadwood to his advantage that time.
Yeah, he just shoved that deadwood right back in there. So Shawn Wells off to a good start. He's 49 on 4 and open with a spare.
Willard with a really hard fastball.
Yeah, he throws hard. That's another young man I haven't seen bowl before. Now you can hear that ball hit the backstop, the drop in there, and it hit hard. You can tell how hard he's throwing that way too.
I've known Willard since he was a young boy. I never watched him bowl that much, but his father, Barney, I know Barney well, and
yeah, Barney still bowls.
Yes, he does. And he's been around the leagues and around the alleys for a long time, and Willard following up in his shoes and doing a heck of a job, I might say.
A little bigger than his father, isn't he?
Certainly is. Certainly is.
He's the kind of bowler that if he's zeroed in on the head pin in the pocket, he's going to get a lot of pins. Right now, after 4 alleys, Bernie, yeah, Willard's 42. Roger Saulnier, 21 after 2.
Willard's another one of these bowlers that he doesn't hesitate or anything. He picks up his ball and he lets it go. He's very quick.
I wonder how a defending champion feels when he goes out there like Roger now, whether he has any thoughts about what he did last year, whether it bothers him or not. I don't think it would. You shouldn't even be thinking of that, of course. That was last year. But
yeah, it always has.
The thought could be there,
yeah,
you know.
That's right.
Hope I could do as good as I did last year type of thing.
Well, I'm sure the pressure's there because I'm sure the fans and the other bowlers are looking at him and talking to him about winning last year, and it's got to be present, that's for sure.
And we put the trophy out front there where he can see it.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm sure he'll give a good account of himself before the day's over.
We'd like to have had a little more angle on that wood. It's got the 5 and the 10, and the wood hasn't got a good angle. Well,
that
was
hard.
Probably the best way of getting that one was off of the nose of that deadwood.
Trying to get that ball to come over to the right. Tried to hang it on to the left there long enough to take the pin down, but dropped in the channel, so he loses that one.
After 4, Kendrick, DENTREMONT 45 and open, Shawn Wells 49 and open, Willard Ogden 42, and Roger Saulnier 39. That ball breaks pretty good, you know. It looks like he's way over the left, and by the time he gets down there, he's on the hit pin.
Yes.
So 7 on that gives him 52 on 4, and a good shot there.
All 4 of these bowlers seem to have quite a fast approach to the game. They don't seem to tarry long. Once they pick up that ball, they seem to just get back and let her go.
Kendrick with a 9 gives him 61 on 5. That's nice smooth ball. It just
certainly
doesn't
is.
seem I think there's a good rotation on the ball, but it just kind of goes over there. It doesn't seem to be working hard. It just goes. Nice shot.
Nice spare. Kendrick now stands at 71 and open on the 6th.
He's got 4 marks already in his first 6 boxes. Shawn Wells with a strike and a spare his last time up, so he's rolling on his spare now.
Chance for the bonus.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He's got it.
Oh, yeah.
He's got it. And our first bonus of this week goes to Shawn.
So he's got strike, spare, strike. And that's what makes your score go up in a hurry. You start adding 10 extra pins each alley. So he's 59 on 4.
I've been kind of noticing his delivery there, Bruce. That ball is getting well out there. It's really close to that that lob line. And
well, they could stay close.
Yeah, as long as it stays on this side of it.
And 6 on the strike, 75 on 5. As long as he doesn't go over it.
Yeah, because it certainly has a tendency to throw you off. Last week we watched Reg Fowler struggle with that. He had the whistle blown on him 3 times, and it definitely has to change your approach and your mindset towards the game.
I talked to him afterward, and he said, "Oh yeah," he said, "it kind of throws you."
Yeah.
You know, and I said, "Yeah, because you come up here, you qualify, you bowl your league games, and nobody blows the whistle on you, and nobody calls the lob line on you." And he said, "I didn't even think I was." There's a spare for Willard. And he said, "All of a sudden I am." So he said, you know, you don't want to change your style delivery. That was a pretty good ball for that kind of a break.
It looked like it was going to be an awesome break for him, didn't it?
Well, 5 on his spare gives him 57 on 5. Man, he's chucking hard.
And again, he's coming real close to that lob line. When he gets that ball off there, not quite as smooth of an approach.
So Willard 65 on 6. Now Roger. He's had one spare so far, but didn't make it count. 5-pin drop, 4 in a row on the right, and the 9-pin in behind. And not, oh, yes, oh yes.
Thought for sure it was gone.
Should have been. And a 10. Another good ball in there. Jay, that's a mess.
Hard break.
There's the
hard
5-7 and the forgot my numbers. Yeah, 6-10 over on the other side.
Hits it on the inside of that 6-pin. Possibility of kicking that 6-pin off that sidewall and bringing it back, I suppose. I guess as a left-hander, that's where I would have played
Well,
it.
I think a right-hander would too, but you got to have it come off that wall, and
yeah, it's got to be hit thin. That's for sure.
It's got to do everything for you.
But with a break like that, the fellow's got to try something, hasn't he?
So after 6, Kendrick DENTREMONT 71 in open, Shawn Wells 84, Willard Ogden 65, and Roger Saulnier 56. So we're moving right along here. And a big 7. Now he's 78 on 6. And a good shot there, good wide open shot.
Just a reminder to the viewers that this is being brought to them by Subway and Red Knight Enterprises. It's being televised here at the Brunswick Lanes, and all that is done by Cable 5. Want to thank all the workers from Cable 5. They're all volunteers here donating their time to bring this to you. Gerald Thibault, the manager of Brunswick Lanes, is our lob line judge. Steve, who works the counter there. So
Mary Jo also
Mary
back
Jo,
there.
yes, that's right. They just changed shifts, didn't they? So we want to thank all of them for their support. Subway for providing food for us today. So another spare for Kendrick.
That makes 5 marks this game for him in 8 boxes. So he's 18 over par and open in the 8th.
Oh,
no doubt about that one.
Real nice strike. Didn't have to wait and see if it was going to fall. That just exploded down there.
He's got a nice first ball.
Certainly has.
A lot of action on it.
So that puts him 94 and open in the 7th.
Now he seemed to throw that ball different. He seemed to throw a hook on that one, whereas when he threw the strike ball, it seemed to fade left to right a bit. So it's 102 on 7. And a 9 for 111. That's after 8 boxes.
Shawn right now has a real good game going for him.
A little extra pin action down there. He leaves the 1-8 with a piece of wood in behind it that could help him. Takes it 8 for 73 on 7.
A lot of pin action.
Yeah. And he's got a good pin. I'll let Deadwood out front there for him now. The way as hard as he throws, he can smash those right back.
And that's just what he did.
As he gains experience as a bowler, he may want to slow down between balls a little bit. He throws pretty quick, and You know, he may want to take a little bit more time to make a decision. But then again, maybe he doesn't prefer to do that, because if you think too much, you get yourself in trouble. And but again, whatever suits your fancy and what you're comfortable with.
Roger's struggling a little here in this first game so far.
And he has to take a 4. So after 7 boxes, Roger's 10 under par. He's only got 60. There's a better ball.
That
break wasn't much.
That looked more like the delivery that you normally see from Roger.
That shot's there if a guy's on his game, because you got that wood over against number 7. That makes that corner pin smaller.
Yeah, that's right.
Or bigger, I should say. Makes your shot bigger. You don't want any smaller shots. And at 8. After 8 in the first game, Kendrick, 98 and open. Shawn Wells, 111. Willard Ogden, 83 and open. And Roger Saulnier, 68. As we said earlier, that ball, he starts it off to the left, and it usually fades right into the head pin. That one didn't fade. It didn't take it all. It just stayed over there. So he's got 100 after 8 boxes. Well, got the makings of something calling.
That pin's not going to go, I don't think.
Moving quite a bit, and I'd wait.
And
I'd wait. Boy,
it's still wobbling.
And a 10. Yeah, give it a chance. If he wants to fall over, let it go.
Yep. You never know if that thing come down, where it's going to go.
With a couple of pins left on the alley, 2 or 3 pieces of deadwood laying there.
Yeah. Real good possibility of it moving something around enough down there to take it down.
And a 10 to finish off his first game with 120. So a good start for Kendrick d'Entremont.
Certainly is, 120.
Shawn Wells already has 111 after 8. So he has a good chance of jumping into first place after the first game, I should say.
That 9 pin back there moved at least 2 inches off of the spot. Wouldn't go down. Still wobbling.
And a 7 for 118.
Shawn also starts to the left side of that approach.
Yeah.
And
another strike. And that's his 4th strike of the game. He kind of does the same thing his ball does. He fades to the center of the alley. He starts left and he just kind of slides off at a little angle and ends up on probably the center dot out there by the foul line. There are dots out there that anybody who wants to spot bowl can use those to guide their position on the lanes when they release the ball, which is what I used to do. I had a spot out there where I would put my feet and 2-4, and where I wanted to release my ball. 132.
Nice game by Shawn Wells.
There's a 9 on Willard's spare, which gives him 92 on 8. And he pins that one there. That's putting him right back in contention. He's 102 on the 9th and open.
Getting a
little
lot
extra
of
splash.
action.
He wants that to go up. Short pin. 109. Well, now Gerald's going to have a look at that one.
Make sure that it's not out over that line. As we've said in earlier weeks, there is a line down there out in front. If that pin comes out over, it has to be removed.
The deadwood line, as it's called, it's 2 feet from the center of the head pin. So you measure from the center of your head pin, the front pin, and you come out 2 feet. And there's a line there.
Willard lost 2 of those pins,
so he's going to get
7
on the mark and 7 on the lane. So we ended up with 116.
So that keeps Willard right in contention. He's only 4 pins behind Kendrick and 16 behind SHAWN. So he's not in a lot of trouble yet. Roger having real bad luck here today. He's not getting any action off his deadwood. Having trouble.
And 9 for 77. So he'd like to have himself a mark. Doesn't matter what a spare strike, any kind of a mark now to finish this game off.
Give him
Get him a little
confidence.
push starting for the next game. Well, still there. Played a single pin.
Yep, that's what he's over on that left-hand side.
Get over on the single pin and let the wood car take the others. Ooh.
Oh, nice try.
Yeah. And a 986. So after game 1, and we're into week 5, by the way, Shawn Wells 132, Kendrick DENTREMONT 120, Willard Ogden 116, and Roger Saulnier 86. And we're going to go right into the second game. Now all he did there was split the 2 on the left, and he ended with 129. Had a good shot at that spare right there.
Oh.
Well, he hit the pin he had to hit.
Hit it just a little too flush and shoved it back instead of going to the side.
He went after the shore 9, I think.
And hoping to move that deadwood around a little bit, I'm sure.
We said earlier, Cliff, too, that some fellas were using their own balls, and it looks like 2 or 3 of those guys are out there. Just a little information on the balls that might interest people. And there's a strike for Kendrick.
Strike.
And the balls are 4.5 inches in diameter, and they weigh anywhere from 2 pounds 5 ounces to 2 pounds 7 ounces. And then 2 pounds 7 ounces is the maximum that you can have. You go away to tournaments, or they used to do this anyway, they would ring your ball for the size, and they'd also weigh them to make sure that you didn't have illegal.
When you get into those type of tournaments, they get very serious about their game.
Well, I guess.
Yeah. But it's a lot of fun. It's good exercise. And if anybody out there is interested in, if they've never bowled or used to bowl and would like to start bowling, there's always room here at Brunswick Lanes for them. Jero and his staff would be more than happy to accommodate you with shoes, balls,
another strike.
and another strike.
I don't know if we've mentioned this or not over the 4+ weeks we've been here, but the alleys themselves from the foul line to the center of the head pin is 60 feet. And the approach where the fellas are starting from is 12 feet. So if you stand way back on the rubber, then you're looking at 72 feet from the time you start to the time the ball hits the pins.
Doesn't look that far, but when you're sitting back here watching. It's when you're down there rolling the ball.
And you know what? You sit here and we look at the pins, and they look like they're all bunched up close together. They're 12 inches apart.
Yeah.
Of course, the pins are 15 3/4 inches long, you know, so they're going to reach each other. There's a spare for Willard. So everybody's marking up in the second box. So when you think about it, you can stop and think that those pins are 12 inches apart. There's plenty of room for a ball to go through or a pin to go through without touching anything.
It certainly doesn't look that way when you're back here, though. It looks like an awful lot of pins
oh yeah,
in a
they're all
small
bunched
area.
up together there, and nothing to it. Hey, nice spare.
Excellent spare by Roger.
So everybody's got a mark to start off this game.
Roger, another very deliberate bowler. Oh,
Those could have gone down the line, taking them all.
that's
as
right.
easy as not. So Roger's got some wood there to work with. Could help him on the left end of it, right there. Ooh, okay. And a 10, 27. So
Roger got his mark just in a different place than the rest, that's all.
yeah, right. Oh, Kendrick's working on a strike right now. He's second box.
On that head pin, but not as good a break as he was hoping for.
3, 5, 6, and the 4, 7. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, he was in the triangle. He probably would have preferred the other side of the triangle. He hit that on the left up front. If he'd hit the right, then it would have made that front pin fly over there possibly, and would have had a better chance at his spare. But a good 10. So Kendrick's 37 on 3.
Good accurate bowling here today by Kendrick and Shawn, and a couple of the others haven't been quite as consistent, but Kendrick and Shawn have been right on their game here today. Again, trying to get in that pocket between that 1 and 3 pin.
Now, I would have preferred not to be in the pocket on that one, right there. On the outside of that one, so you could use the wood.
Yeah.
And it would have taken the other 2 down there. So Kendrick's 47 after 4 in the second game.
Shawn working the strike again here in the second frame.
He had 4 strikes in his first game.
Yes, I was noticing that he's had 6 marks, and 4 of them, 5 of them have been strikes.
Yeah. And a nice spare on that strike. So that's what makes your scores count up. You get these double marks.
Boost them in a hurry, it certainly does.
Well, you're adding 10 extra pins every alley.
And a nice big 7 on that spare. That gives him 37 in those 2 boxes. That sure makes your score come up in a hurry.
Yeah, he's got 45 on 3 now and a shot here. Right on it.
And 10.
And he's got 3 marks in a row.
Oh, yes, I was thinking that was a... I was thinking
Look
that
after the boys now.
10, that was a spare, so that makes 2 bonus envelopes for Shawn today.
Willard's got 7. So he's 24 after 2. He'll make something fly here if he hits it right. Oh, it bounced both ends and right beside it.
Yep, never touched a thing. Has to be frustrating for him.
And this is what can make a difference in a man's score. These last pins, that 10th pin is there. What a dead wood. you got to make sure you concentrate as hard on that as you do on other ones. You lose a pin here, a pin there, a couple there, you have a bad alley. You're out of it. So every pin is big.
When your total pinfall counts, that's for sure.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, you got to keep going after them, all 3 balls. And a 7 for 40, so Willard is par for 4 boxes on the second game. And Roger got off to a little better start this time. Get his spare and 10, so he's 7 over par after his second box.
Big 9-pin break.
Almost didn't get the extra pin, but this time it fell. So he's got the right-hand corner 10-pin. Right on it.
I think there might be a little bit of sentiment out there, hoping that Roger does well into this first round.
Get a break there, getting 6 out of that.
Considering that he was our champ from last year.
Got that little bunch of 4 in the, right in the middle of the plate. But he had to get on the head pin to get it. And a good 10. So after 4 boxes in the second game, Kendrick DENTREMONT 47, Shawn Wells 55 and open, Willard Ogden 40, and Roger Saulnier 53. There he is, right back with that ball again that I think works good for him. As I noted earlier that sometimes he seems to throw a hook. But when he has that ball fading that way, it does a lot of damage for him. There it comes again. He doesn't put any strain on it. He just seems to let it slide off his hand and comes over there. So 7 on his strike gives him 64 on 5. And a good 10. So 74 after 6. And he had 120 his first game.
So as we enter the halfway point, just like to remind the viewers again, this is being brought to them by Subway and by Red Knight Enterprises. And we hope you're enjoying it as much as we are, that's for sure.
8 on Shawn's spare gives him 63 on 4. Wide open shot on those 2.
And
just slid by that front one.
Just off, just a hair from the...
And a 9 for 72. So Shawn was a top man in the first game, and he's riding high in this game too.
He certainly is. He's... With the rabbit in the hair, he's the rabbit, and everybody's... That's the fuck. Yeah,
why would you want to talk about
here
hair
today, Bruce?
Yeah, why would you want to talk about hair?
I don't know. I don't know anything about hair, actually.
And another spare for Shawn.
He's bowling excellent here today. He's been consistent all the way through. Again, only 2 open frames after 6 alleys.
9-pin break for Willard. And takes a 9 for 49. He needs to throw himself a couple of strikes. They're easier than spares.
Just off of that head pin a little bit. He can't seem to hone in into that pocket. There. Gets it in, still leaves one up.
And he's 58 after 6.
Willard struggling a little bit this game.
He had 116 the first game, and he came through with 2 marks in his last 2 boxes. So the potential is there for him to throw a couple of big boxes, you know, and get him back in the ballgame.
Put him back in there.
Roger with a 2-4-5 break. If it hadn't been for that side kick, I'm afraid he'd have left one that time, but that's why they're there.
Examples of what we've been talking about over the last 4 weeks. Those side kicks are certainly helping.
He'd love to have that pin, but he's not going to get it. 16 for 69. Nice shot. Oh, that was the difference of having a spare and not having a spare by not getting the back pin that time, and that's tough.
And it's still wobbling from the first ball.
And a 10 gives him 79 after 6. So we're looking at scores for Kendrick 74, Shawn Wells 82 and open, Willard Ogden 58, and Roger Saulnier 79. Come up the hill? No, guess not.
Moved it towards up the hill, but just didn't carry through. The pin's still wobbling. Pulled up on that a little bit, changed his delivery.
Nothing to it on the third ball.
Seems so simple, doesn't it?
Oh, it's easy.
Yeah. Almost like a little groove opens up in that alley every time.
So Kendrick's 14 over par after 7 boxes in this second game, so he's in pretty good shape. In fact, I think he and Shawn are in pretty good shape. If Roger had a little better start, because he's going good now.
Right now, Willard and Roger are chasing and trying to catch up. Even though Willard was only 16 pins down on that first game off of the lead, still hasn't really come through in this game so far.
Here's Shawn Wells, open on 6 with a spare. Picks up 7, which gives him 89. And a 9 for 98 after 7. Got that back pin out of that little group of 4. Makes it, I mean, it's tough enough as it is as a triangle, but I think it's a little easier without the back one in it.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And a good 10. So Shawn's 108 after 8 to go along with his 132.
Seems like our scores have been higher this year, our doubles, as opposed to last year.
Oh, I think they are. I can't remember all last year's scores, but I think they are, and I think the reason, maybe there's some better bowlers here than were last year. I don't know. I wouldn't say that, but I think the sidekicks have a lot to do with it. You look at the 400 board over there. There's a lot more 400 bowlers than there were last year at this time. And I think that has probably been the biggest difference in the scores here at Brunswick Lanes this year.
Certainly has made a difference in the overall scores throughout the leagues and everything.
It definitely has, yeah.
The 400s are way up above last year's.
High single games are up too. I note as I do the scores each week, single games, there's a lot of 150s, 60s, and any number of 140s. Nine for Roger. Skinny hit again. Left him the 2 corner pins. Double deadwood down on the right. I don't know if that'll help him in or not, or whether he wants to go on the other one.
I think he's going for that double.
Yes, and it did. It came out of the gutter and slid across, but not far enough. And a 9 for 97. So we finished 18 boxes of the bowling this week, and Kendrick DENTREMONT is ready to bowl his last 2. He's got a 92 after 8. Sean Wells 108. Willard Ogden 76 and open on a strike, and Roger Saulnier's got 97. Right on that one. And again, that shows the difference of a split or the outside on the head pin. Picks up a good 9.
After 9, 101 for Kendrick. One more alley for him. That will finish him off for this round. For those of you that haven't, or just joining us and maybe haven't heard the rules, we're bowling a 2-game series here, total pinfall. 2 will advance and 2 drop out. We do this for 6 weeks, then we start into the second round.
$110 for Kendrick, and it gives him a 2-game total of 230.
Sean leaving a little bit of a mess down there on the alley, trying to clean it up.
Takes a 7 for 115 after 9. So Sean's assured himself of first place in this week and be able to advance to the next round.
Sean having 132 his first game.
And 8 for 123 and a total of 255. Double strike.
Double strike for Willard.
You see that one coming. So there's some bonus money for Willard. So he's not, if he isn't able to advance, he isn't going home empty-handed.
That's right.
$25. That's 91 on 8. got to beat 230 if he wants to stay in there. Ooh, that was close. That was close.
Deadwood roaming around back there almost took it for him, which would have given him some more bonus money.
Hey, well, I think Willard's just put himself in there. And 10, 120, and 236. So Willard is going to advance. He just beat out Kendrick by 6 pins. That double strike did it for him.
Certainly did. It made all the difference in the world. Up until then, he was...
well, he was in trouble, and
he was in trouble,
the double strike put him in there. And I think that's the kind of bowler Willard is. He can throw that big shot in there. $107. And right now, is with 1 box to go, Roger still only has a total of 193. So even if he has a triple strike, he can't make it.
But it was great to have Roger back to defend his title this year. And sorry that he didn't make it, but I'm sure we'll see him again next year.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. Roger likes to bowl. And a 10 for 117 and 203. So the totals on week 5 shows us Shawn Wells with 132 and 123 for a total of 255 to lead. Second will be Willard Ogden with 116 and 120 for 236. Kendrick DENTREMONT 120 and 110 for 230. Roger Saulnier 86 and 117 for 203. So the two who advance now are Shawn Wells and Willard Ogden.
That's right. And again, Shawn picked up 2 bonus sections there for some more money and bonus money. And Willard, with his double strike, picked up some bonus money. So that'll help offset the cost of them coming and entering into this tournament.